What's up guys, the Devil's Talon here, and in today's video I'm going to give you 5 tips that's going to improve your chances at qualifying for FNCS solo finals. Let's get into it. So the first tip is to master a drop spot. What do I mean by master a drop spot? You need to know floor loot locations, you need to know loot routes, you need to know chest locations, you need to know where you can get quick materials, you need to know what areas you can build in, what areas you can't, you need to know the intricacies of that spot. And again, the only way you're going to do that is if you land there probably 100 times and fight probably 60 times and learn just kind of every engagement that you can have and what you can do. Now, for another part of this, of mastering a drop spot, is the ability to master an area. And so what do I mean by master an area? Let's say, so this was my old drop spot and I've recently moved it to here. But what that's allowed me to do is, if this drop is super contested, there's only 4 chests here. Let's say if it's super contested and there's 4 or 5 people going there. Well, now basically I'm leaving it all up to what I get out of the chest or what's on floor loot and who decides to fight who. And I don't want that, especially, right? So I can bail off and go to other locations. I know I know every chest location here. I know that there's free shield here. I know that there's multiple chests, 4 chests here. I know where every chest is here. I know there's a chest here, a chest here. There is a chest here. And I also know that I can go here. There's a chest in the woods here, along with 250 metal. And then this house has 3 chests. So I've mastered an area. And not saying I can't drop there. I can drop comfortably at all of these locations. Even the rig, I can drop comfortably. There's tons of chests here. But this is going to be highly contested because of the amount of loot. And that's not something that I find too ideal for solos. But that's just me personally. If you're really good at fighting off spawn and elite W here, land in the rig, get the card, get the best loot, and win the game. You know what I'm saying? But just basically the tip is master a drop spot and then be familiar with the areas around you in case your plan A doesn't work. You have a viable plan B that's going to allow you to get loot and still survive. The second tip I have to have is abusing the upgrade station. Now, if you do not know or are new to competitive, the farm rate is increased in competitive mode, so mats are really not an issue, and getting, especially early on, and also the fact that you're capped, you don't have to spend a lot of time farming. So upgrade stations allowed you to go from gray weapons to green, 50, 50, 50, green to blue, 100, 100, 100, blue to purple, 150, 150, 150. And so now that's talking a blue pump to a purple pump. And that's huge. That's a huge advantage. Recently, It's Jarian, famous Fortnite YouTube tips and tricks guy, was talking about how FaZe Martaz is so elite and everything that he does to dominate in box fights. But the one thing he didn't mention is, if you look at probably, I don't know, he posted in a 10-minute video probably 30 clips. And if you look at most of those clips, what does he have? What does Martaz have? A purple pump or a purple tack most of the time, or blue. He very rarely has anything less than blue. And why do you, even with 1 or 2 kills, why do you think that is? He's abusing the upgrade station because kills drop 150 materials. I mean, only dropping, and so that's pays for 1/3 of what the cost to need to upgrade your blue pump to a purple, and not to mention the farm rate and all this stuff. You need to abuse this stuff. You need to find a drop spot. So that drop spot where I go right there is literally 60 wood pallets, so my wood will be infinitely refreshed. There's plenty of metal there. Brick is the most challenging, but there's still plenty of brick around if you want to smack walls all day. All these upgrade stations are located at POIs or named locations, but there's little spots all around the map that they have these upgrade stations that aren't at named places that you can use. And you could just farm up again quickly in these competitive modes and reduce your RNG, which is really going to help you succeed. Because have you ever been box fighting a kid with a purple pump and you have a green tack? Yeah, it's not fun. You need to be the kid with a purple pump. And these upgrade stations minimize that RNG. So you need to abuse them and use them. And I believe FaZe Martaz is sneakily doing that. He doesn't stream. He just posts his arena clips of dominating everyone, the most arena points in the world. But I guarantee you he's using this tip. The third tip I'm going to offer is to prioritize positioning over W keying and try to avoid mid-game fights at all costs during these finals. And here's why. If you look, the scoring system is right here. You have 33 points for a victory royale, which is a lot more than the 3 points that you would get, 26 for second, and so on and so forth. So they're rewarding placement, and these don't stack. You're not going to get 1 point, then 2 points. Let's say if you get 50th, you're going to get 2 points. You're not going to get 3 points. At least that's how it was explained to me. I'm not 100% sure. It's not really explained too well. It's a little bit confusing because this is a new format. But as you could tell before, there's never been placement for anything this, at least in my recent memory, anything for this low. So again, prioritize surviving in this, and taking mid-game fights just kind of decreases that chance. Now you're going to get 4 points for elimination, sure, but what makes eliminations easier? Late game when people are shambles, right? That's how you kill good players. They don't have materials, they don't have health, they don't have the utility, they have a long rotate, no launch pad, stuff like that. So you're going to want to focus on placement, and that's good because this season's been just a W key spray meta that, you know, not a lot of competitive players have enjoyed, and hopefully this kind of brings back some more brain and more competitive, actually in terms of competitive, instead of just box diving and W keying, more actual rotations and stuff, which really are just kind of the tactical portions of Fortnite that seem to have been lacking this season. So again, try to avoid mid-game fights, focus on positioning, and get those placement points. The fourth tip I'm going to offer is offensive cone peeking. Now, what do I mean by offensive cone peek? Usually you sit in your cone to gather information around you. You do this in late game because everything around you is completely visible. It was a little more dangerous in duos with double heavy snipes, but in solos it's usually more permissible because even if they heavy snipe you, they're not going to one tap you with a heavy immediately after that. They'll have to hit some AR shots if they know that you're in the cone. Now, when you're doing this offensive cone peeking stuff, you're only going to want to use either brick or metal, because brick is the best. It's the most opaque. Metal, you could kind of see a little bit out of the corners, but you have to be really paying attention. But brick is pretty much you can't see through it all, and it's the most ideal to use. Now, this guy, again, 0 ping, wall taker 69 right there, as you can see in the top left, is on my wall trying to take my wall, which I'm probably not going to hold as a mid-tier ping player, and I'm sure there's people that play with higher ping, but this guy's a W keyer. He's trying to basically ruin my chances of going late, and we're in an Arena Champs game. And so how am I going to counter this? He has no clue that I'm up here, right? And he's completely exposed. His head is completely exposed. And see how we take this situation and turn it into an advantage. Also, just like to mention, use the tip from the previous video, or use some previous tips. Got a purple pump from farming up and abusing the upgrade station. And let's see how both of those tips kind of together in this, combine in this beautiful little situation. Little one pump, right? Super easy, free kill. The guy has no clue, and that I'm not in there. And so, boom, easy freebie kill. Again, let's take another look at this technique and how, again, we can use this to our benefit. All right, again, we're sitting in a cone. We notice that there's a kid on this wall attacking this kid. We hear that he's cracked. Again, tips from previous video. Got a purple pump. Previous tip. Again, got a purple pump. We're cone peeking. We are in a sticky situation. There's 3 kids all around us. We don't have the best in terms of mats. We need a refresh. So we know this guy's cracked. We just see here the crack right there. You can see the shots. Boom, we go in. This guy has no idea that we're there. Boom, take his wall. And look, one pump, easy, finishes the kill. We get the stuff, we get the refresh, and the other kid ends up padding away, and all this loot is ours. So we upgrade to a gold scar, we get a launch pad, we get materials. Everything is really good. And again, it was all just from offensive cone peeking. The fifth and final tip I'm going to offer is to keep your mental toughness. Solos are grueling. They're the most frustrating. You have no chance of redemption. You usually have a lot of things that are out of your control that ruin your games and frustrating things. And BH Perplexy, a top 50 NA East player, said solos is going to show who is mentally weak. And it's 100% true. If you're not able to keep your head mentally strong, you're going to crumble and you're going to tilt and not play well. You're going to have to keep your head clear and understand that not every game is going to be great. You're going to have to understand that there's going to be a lot of things out of solos that are out of your control. You may just get focused or teamed on, and you may die to stupid meta stuff, getting sprayed out, RPGs, heavy snipers, whatever. But you're going to have to stay mentally strong and keep on grinding. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.